Hello everyone, how are you? Today we'll talk about some a part of the evolution that is one of the important major evolutionary force, that is natural selection, right? So what's is actually selection? Selection actually selective advantage of survival and reproduction of an organism is the selection. Now we'll see what is natural selection. Now, when selection actually done by the human beings, right, then we call as a artificial selection, right? So see that when the selective agencies are primarily those of human choice, process is called artificial selection. When the selective agencies are not those of human choice, it's called natural selection. That means when the selection is done by the nature, that's called natural selection. We know that two major evolutionary forces are there. One is that the natural selection, another is the genetic drift. This should be natural selection. Selection, A-C-L-E-C-T-I-O-N. Natural selection and genetic drift, two major forces. And the natural selection causes the adaptive evolution. Natural selection actually causes the adaptive evolution in the traits. And in case of genetic drift, actually cause non-adaptive evolution or neutral evolution in the trait. Genetic drift actually operates in a smaller population. Now we will see that different types of natural selection. Now we'll know that the three types of natural selections are there. One is the three types of natural selection are there. One is the directional natural selection, stabilizing natural selection. Another is the disruptive mode of natural selection. This stabilizing natural selection, also known as normalizing natural selection or centripetal selection, right? And disruptive type of natural selection is known as diversifying natural selection or centrifugal natural selection, right? Now we'll come into the directional natural selection. These are the original population distribution, and in case of a directional natural selection, the trait actually is a favor either of the lower value of the phenotype or in the higher values of the phenotype, right? That means either এটা কি হয় না one একটাকে যে কোনো একটাকে প্রেফারেন্স দেবে, either higher value অথবা lower value কে প্রেফারেন্স দেবে, ঠিক আছে? Either lower phenotype or lower frequency of the character and the higher frequency of the character, either one it will be preferred in case of in directional natural selection. But in case of example will be that for directional natural selection are the industrial melanism. During industrial melanism, what happened is now we know that during industrial melanism many industries are grown and many industries are release their different smokes into the environment, and environment get polluted, and due to this pollution the most of the lichen population get destroyed, and due to this destruction of the lichen population, two types of moths are there. One is the Western butyllaria, another is the Western carbonaria. So before industrial pollution, before industrial revolution or industrial pollution, the white moth get more preference. But due to pollution, the lichen get destroyed, and they are more detected by the predator. Predators are birds are their predators. Now predators actually kill the white moths, and then the darker moths become more stable, right? So in case of what happened in case of industrial melanism এর সময় কি হয়েছিল না, ডার্কার যে পপুলেশন ডার্ক দু ধরনের মথ ছিল, একটাকে বলা হয় বিস্টন বিউটিলেরিয়া আর একটা বিস্টন কার্বোনেরিয়া, একটা ছিল ব্ল্যাক কালারের মথ আর একটা হোয়াইট কালার মথ। এবার পলিউশনের জন্য ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল পলিউশনের জন্য প্রচুর পরিমাণে স্মোক রিলিজ হয়েছে এনভায়রনমেন্টে, তার ফলে কি হয়েছে না এনভায়রনমেন্টে লাইকেন যে পপুলেশন সেটা ডিস্ট্রয়েড হয়েছে। লাইকেন ডিস্ট্রয়েড হয়ে যাওয়ার ফলে কি হচ্ছে না, বিস্টন বিউটিলেরিয়া যে হোয়াইট মথ গুলো ছিল এরা তাড়াতাড়ি ডিটেক্টেড হয়ে যাচ্ছে বাই দা বার্ডস, এন্ড এর ফলে কি হচ্ছে না এদের নাম্বার অনেক কমে যাচ্ছে। হোয়াইট মথের নাম্বার অনেক কমে যাচ্ছে আর ব্ল্যাক মথের সার্ভাইভাল রেট অনেক বেড়ে যাচ্ছে। তো এখানে আবার যখন পলিউশন ফ্রি হয়ে যাবে তখন আবার হোয়াইট মথের সার্ভাইভাল রেট উইল বি ইনক্রিজ and the black color moth will be decrease, right? And in that way either one get preference, either white moth get preference and either of the black moth get preference. These are the industrial mannerism occurs during industrial revolution. Now we'll come into the stabilizing natural selection. But stabilizing natural selection where middle value get more preference. If you see that graph phenotype versus frequency, the middle one value get more preference. In case of stabilizing natural selection, the middle value get preference. Here the in examples will be that birth weight of the child or newborn. In case of newborns, almost 3.5 kg, almost 3.5 kg is the normal range of a normal birth weight, or most of the child, those are survived the child range between 3.5 kg and below that range the survival rate like 1 kg survival rate is very low, and above that range survival rate also low, like in case of 9 kg, so also the child with 9 kg weight is survival rate is less. So here actually what happened, the survival actually the যে সমস্ত চাইল্ডের ক্ষেত্রে যাদের বার্থ ওয়েট 3.5 কেজি বা 3.5 কেজি কম, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে সার্ভাইভাল চান্স অনেক কম। আবার যাদের ক্ষেত্রে 3.5 কেজির ঊর্ধ্বে, যেমন আরো বেশি লাইক 9 কেজি 10 কেজি, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে কি হয়, সার্ভাইভাল চান্স অনেক কম। এক্ষেত্রে কি হয় না, মিডল ভ্যালু অর্থাৎ get preference, that is the stabilizing selection, and the both extreme either higher or lower trait of the phenotype have a disadvantage here, and they get eliminated by the natural selection. Here is that also that stabilizing selection, also known as normalizing natural selection or centripetal selection. Now we will see that disruptive or diversifying type of selection. Disruptive or diversifying type of selection. See that what happened in case of diversifying selection. Diversifying selection also known as centrifugal selection. Now in case of here there is a less preference in the middle value. Middle value have a less chance of survival, and the both extreme here, both extreme get typically get advantage for survival advantage and survival and reproductive advantage, the either lower or and the higher of the trait. Both have selective advantage, but middle one have a have a lesser chance of survival and reproduction, right? Here you can see that the disruptive type of natural selection example will be that in case of increasing frequency of small and large size individuals and the reducing frequency of the medium size individuals in the Daphnia population. Daphnia population is an example of disruptive or diversifying selection. So thank you. If you like my channel, subscribe my channel and follow my channel, right?